Hey there, Cancer. Welcome to your reading for the week of May 6th. This week, we are going to jump right in here. You have this rescue card. It says, someone in your life may help you get back on track. You also have this motivator card. It says, motivate yourself to better your finances. They need rescuing. So, yeah, I think that these two cards could be kind of going together here. You could be improving your finances by, with the help of another person, or something is kind of giving you a boost, hopefully. In this reading, we're gonna find out here, Cancer, if that's true or not. But you have the Ten of Swords, the Knight of Swords, and the Two of Wands here. I do feel like something is coming to like an abrupt end here with that Ten of Swords, or something like maybe needs to come to an abrupt end, whatever it is. It doesn't even feel like a big deal to me, whatever it is. It could be something that you're working on here that's coming to an abrupt end, or isn't working out, but I think that this is clearly for the best. You have the Ten of Pentacles right next to it. And so the Ten of Pentacles is like everything you want and desire in your life. But I just get this feeling of you, it's almost like you're going to be working on something that is much more worth it. Or, you're going to be working on something that provides more of an increase for you. And, I think like whatever you've been doing up until this point in your life, especially in work, has been almost, I think it's been preparing you for success, right? So again, if something, I feel like there's an ending here. It's almost like, I don't even know what to say. If I'm being honest here, Cancer, it's almost like you kind of don't want to do something that you're doing, like whether this is in work or business, right? And so maybe it comes to an end and you're just kind of like, okay, well, I'm glad that came to an end on its own, right? And, that's kind of like the feeling I get here with the Ten of Swords. You have the Nine of Swords. The Nine of Swords is like a never-ending nightmare. Or Knight of Swords, you do have the Nine of Swords. I was looking at the Nine of Swords, that's why I said that. But you have the Knight of Swords. And the Knight of Swords can represent like a rushed energy or a rushing energy. So I definitely wouldn't rush with anything that you're doing at this time. The Knight of Swords asks us to take our time, and I definitely get that vibe here. Like if you're doing anything, then kind of take your time, make sure you're going back over things. But I also do feel again that there is clearly like an abrupt change that could be happening. You have the Two of Wands. Two of Wands is about taking the lead and getting out into the world. He is holding this world in his hands, and he's standing at the top of this castle. The story of the Two of Wands is that he rushed to a finish line, and he didn't enjoy the journey. He didn't enjoy the process, and so he tried to, win too quickly, and now he thinks that there's nothing else for him to do in the world, but really, he has the whole world in his hands, so there's like so much more that he could do with his life, but he just has to go and do it. And I kind of get that feeling for you. It's almost like you're kind of like stepping off into a new stage here or something. With the Ten of Swords, you have the Wheel of Fortune. Yeah, Wheel of Fortune would represent your fortunes turning in your favor, and there's clearly a turnaround right here. You go from the Ten of Swords to the Ten of Pentacles down to the Sun. So I think, this is looking good. I feel like that you're going from not happy to happy, or, there's definitely a positive change going on here. With the Knight of Swords, you have the Two of Cups. Yeah, I think maybe you've learned like not to rush into a relationship. I feel like you've learned not to like fall in love with a person too quickly and things like that. And because of that, you could be attracting a person here. It could be I think this is one person. I think that it could be someone who's like older than you, more mature. It could be a King of Cups or a King of Swords, so water sign or an air sign, or a person who has both in their chart. And, again, I think you've learned to, like, take your time. I really do kind of get, like, two peas in a pod type of energy here. So, looks to me like this is going to go really, really well. I think you have great communication. This right here is the Staff of Hermes, which represents communication. Or it's like you will. If you haven't met this, some of you haven't met this person. Again, I say that because we have the Ten of Cups. The last position is kind of like your outcome. And, having the Sun there tells me that, basically something hasn't been revealed to you. You might know who this person is. Like, you might be aware of them, but maybe you haven't actually met them. I kind of get that feeling here, but definitely a perfect match for sure. With the Two of Wands, you have the Three of Wands. Three of Wands, card of expansion. We see a lot of growth and expansion for you. So you could be expanding out into the world. You could be kind of growing or doing new things with your life, and whatever you're doing, I think, is going to lead to a lot of success. I would also encourage you to go on adventures here. I think that's true for everyone. I think we are in a time of adventure. We're not going to find what we want sitting in our house, right? So we have to get out of the house and go do new things, but also we have to learn new things. We have to have new experiences, all that. Next, in the area of the unexpected, you have this marriage card. It says business partnership, joining forces, romance to the next level. So you could be, if you're with a person, it could be the person you're going to marry. If you're not with a person, you could be meeting the person you'll marry. And you have this murky thoughts. It says worry, doubt, pessimism, lost hope. I think that this could be, maybe you do have your eye on a person, but you're having these negative thoughts about what could happen. So I would try to be more positive. I wouldn't have these negative thoughts. I do also feel you could be attracting a person like this, but I actually don't feel it's that big of a deal. I kind of feel like either, whether it's you or them, I don't think it's really that big of a deal. I think that whoever it is in the situation is going to get over it, so wouldn't really worry about it, but it is popping up here. Just know that you could be slowing something down that is really good for you when this happens. You have the Ten of Pentacles, Temperance, Six of Swords, and the Seven of Swords. So Ten of Pentacles is everything you want and desire in your life. Ten of Pentacles forms the Tree of Life on the card, which is everything you want and desire. But the Ten of Pentacles, to me, is the best love card in the deck. It's everything you want and desire in a connection. So there could be a really solid connection coming in for you if you're hoping for love or if you're hoping to meet a person. This is also amazing for money. And we saw that thing about needing to get motivated about your finances. So I think it would be a good time for you to get motivated about your finances and make sure that you're being, driven, and make sure that you're working on something. I would start small as well. I'm a big fan of starting small. I think it's the easiest way to get started is to just ease into something. And, really, if you start big, you're just never going to get started, right? So that's kind of the feeling I get here. Next, you have the Temperance card and the Six of Swords. Temperance is patience. I kind of do see you, again, if you are meeting a person, I do see it moving maybe a little bit slower than what you're used to, but not in a bad way. I think both people in this situation want to take their time. It's almost like this is two people who have done it too fast many times in the past. So it's maybe you've gotten into relationships too quickly, and maybe they have too. And so I kind of feel like the two of you might be just trying to see if you're going to gel or whatever. The Six of Swords is moving on to calmer shores, and I do feel that you are. I mean, you're literally going this way up to the King of Cups, this way to the King of Swords. You go this way to the Nine of Swords, which we're going to have to see what that's about. But this could, to the Ten of Swords here down, that could say don't repeat something with a past person. It basically, the Wheel of Fortune is one of the few cards in the tarot that I consider a past person, so I would be careful of that. You also have the Seven of Swords here. Seven of Swords can be lying, cheating, stealing, but, personally, I consider this a good card. It is a good card. Golden cards in the tarot are meant to be positive no matter what. And so it's a card of tactics. He's stealing those swords from that army in the background there, and he's doing that so that they can't be used against him in battle. And it just says that anything that you're doing in your life, whether it's love, money, business, whatever, make sure that make sure you're doing things in the most efficient way possible. Your opposite sign being Capricorn. Capricorn gets this message all the time that, Capricorn needs to be more efficient. And I think it's true for you as well, since you're the opposite, the opposite, but the same. And so I think you need to be very efficient. Make sure you're doing things in the most efficient way possible. Obviously, I would be careful of a past liar, cheater, stealer as well, if you have that in your life. But let's see. With the Ten of Pentacles, you have the King of Pentacles here. Yeah, this is amazing. I think that you could be attracting a person who wants something long-term. I love the King of Pentacles for love. To me, it's a person who really wants to make things work, a person who really wants that kind of deep connection, who wants to work on something for the long term. And so you could be attracting a person like that. I also feel this is amazing for money. So if you are doing anything to improve your finances, I think, plain and simple, you're improving your finances. With the Temperance card and the Six of Swords, you have the King of Swords, which you have twice right here. It's almost like that's what you're creating. Temperance is pouring the water back and forth between the two cups, trying to turn water into wine. It's almost like you are creating a little bit of magic here in your life. Like maybe you are kind of finding a person who is a good mix of, the things that you desire in your life. Like I always say, nobody's perfect, right? But I think this person could be a good mix. And we don't have the King of Wands yet, although that could change. And, it's like this person is almost an emperor, right? With the Seven of Swords, you have the Two of Pentacles. Yeah, I would be careful of a juggler here or a past person. The retrograde's over, but we're still kind of in the shadow, so it could still bring about, exes or past jugglers or past people into our lives. You have this Leo card. It says courage on it. It says boost your courage so you can put yourself out there in a bigger way. The whole entire reading says put yourself out there in a bigger way. I literally basically said that at the beginning. You have this lighthouse card. It says you are a light that can't be hidden, so don't ever try to dim it for anyone. Yes. And I feel like if you're attracting a new person, this new person will be a person who doesn't want you to dim your light, a person who doesn't make you, do things that would do that. So, definitely could be attracting a real one here. You have the King of Cups, the King of Swords, and the Nine of Swords. I feel like you are attracting a person who's very connected to their heart in a lot of ways. The King of Cups has explored his emotions on a very deep level. And, he's sitting in the deep ocean and there are choppy waters all around him. But I always say he doesn't really care what's going on around him. He is in perfect control of his feelings, his emotions. He knows how he feels. He doesn't question it. And so I feel for a lot of you, you could be attracting a person who's very emotionally secure, which is great, obviously. You have the King of Swords. Again, the King of Swords is someone with a lot of knowledge and wisdom. So you could be attracting a person like that. Could be a more mature person as well. I always say, doesn't necessarily have to be older than you. They could be, but not necessarily. I kind of feel like you're attracting a person who is going through a change as well. He has these butterflies behind him here, and I never really pay attention to that, but it's standing out to me in your reading here, Cancer. So I feel like you could be attracting a person who's going through a transition. They could be getting a new job. They could be moving or traveling or, whatever other change you could possibly think of. So definitely could be meeting this person while they're transforming in their life. But I kind of feel like you're attracting a person who is coming into their own. It's almost like, it's very specific what's popping into my head. Like you're attracting a person who's kind of worked their way to the top of something or, but it's like they just got there, so I feel like you're kind of catching someone at the top, right? Or something like that. You have the Nine of Swords. I do feel like there's a little bit of fear about repeating a situation on both sides. I think that this is two people. Like I said, I called you two peas in a pod, right? I feel like maybe you've been hurt, they've been hurt. I see two people who've been through something very similar. So I feel that you should recognize that, right? That this person is probably not going to do anything negative because they've been through it themselves. And I feel that they need to realize this about you as well. So I feel like there's fear that needs to be let go of on both sides. I also feel like the Nine of Swords is about leaving a comfort zone. So anything you can do to step out of a comfort zone will lead to more success. This right here is a comfort blanket, and he's uncomfortable, but he's not uncomfortable enough to make a change. And, that is why I personally consider the Nine of Swords the worst card in the tarot, because it is the most stuck card. It's like he's stuck. He doesn't feel right. He is in pain maybe, but he's not doing anything to change his situation. So the Nine of Swords reminds us that we are not stuck. We can get up out of bed and we can go do something else, right? We don't have to focus on the nightmare. We can change our situation. I feel like it's encouraging you to do whatever you can. With the King of Swords, you have the Seven of Wands. Seven of Wands is a card of conviction. It says when you know that something is for you, then that's when it's for you. And, it's a card of deep belief. So you really have to believe in yourself with the Seven of Wands. I also kind of feel like, Seven of Wands, it's one of those cards where it says that you might not be 100% ready, right? He's wearing two different shoes on this card. And sometimes I feel that he's been thrust into a situation where he had to rush out of the house. And maybe that's why he's wearing two different shoes, if that makes sense. He had to, rush out there and defend his position at the top of the hill, but he had to do it so quickly. He wasn't fully prepared. And I feel that for some of you where it's maybe, if this is love, especially, it's there's never going to be a perfect moment, I think is what you need to realize. And, really the Three of Wands is my card, which you have right here. So the Three of Wands up here to the Seven of Wands says to me that, there will never be a perfect moment for you to do anything and you'll never be fully ready. But, someone has to take a leap of faith here is kind of what I feel. And I feel like I've been saying this to you for weeks, by the way. With the King of Swords, you have the Ten of Swords. Yeah, I just feel like, again, this is two people who have been through something similar. I also would encourage you, someone here needs to let go of their past, whether it's you or them. And if it's you, you're going to have to be honest with yourself, right? If it's you, I think that releasing your past could allow you to attract something much quicker. With the Nine of Swords, you have the World. So the World is an accomplishment. We see really good cards here. There's like a really positive turnaround coming into your life, even if you don't want love. Like, this doesn't just have to be your love life, but the World can be an accomplishment or an achievement. It also represents kind of like entering into new experiences. The World can literally say that you are creating a new world for yourself, and this new world can have whatever you want in it, but you have to create it, right? Next, you have this in the area of the good stuff. You have this Merry Motive card and the Sacred Reverence card. Again, I feel like if this is love, you could be attracting like a very positive person with this Merry Motive card and someone who has good intentions. With the Sacred Reverence, it's like this is a very heart-based person, which I do feel like you could be attracting a very heart-based person into your life. And maybe that's something that you notice about this person. I also feel like you could be becoming more like this, like you are doing things for the right reasons in your life. And because you're doing things for the right reasons, we'll start with the Sun. Right here, it looks like you're attracting ultimate happiness and joy into your life because you're doing things for the right reasons. So I feel like there's a lot of happiness coming in here for you. You have the Fool. The Fool is about taking a leap of faith. And again, like I said, I feel for like the past 3 weeks or so, you've been having these readings that have been saying like it's time for you to take some sort of leap of faith or rip the Band-Aid off and get started on something. And I feel if you do that, you will be very successful, whatever it is. I kind of feel like you're like a little bit over prepared for a transformation or a change. We were talking in the beginning of the reading about how that kind of, the first part of the reading looks like a big change to me that you're making in your life or a transformation. And I feel like you're over prepared. It's like your time to leave. It's time to like leave something and get started on something new or to transition, right? And I think that would be good for you. You have the Strength card. Strength is obviously about strength and being strong. And I feel like you could be, really strength is a display of strength. You are showing the world how strong you are. She has her hands in that lion's mouth. And I always say, like, who in the right mind would stick their hands in a lion's mouth? So, it's a card of a display of strength. And a lot of you, maybe you've been doing things for years that display your strength. Now, with the Strength card, you have the Sun. Could be a Leo that you're attracting or a person with Leo in their chart or something. I would also say that the Sun is a card that kind of shines a light on things that we need to pay attention to. So I always say with the Sun that if something is capturing your attention, if something is interesting you, and it could be, that's a very general statement, right? It could literally be anything. You could be becoming interested about the most random things, and the Sun says pay attention. With the Fool, you have the Queen of Pentacles. Yeah, Queen of Pentacles says that you're increasing your resources. You could be earning more money or doing things like whatever this leap of faith is going to lead to new money. I would also say that if you've been doing something for years, like working on something that's been, and maybe you feel like it's been preparing you for, something bigger, I feel the answer here is yes, Cancer. So if you're thinking about taking your skills and using them somewhere else, I would say yes. With the Sun, you have the King of Cups. Yeah, again, same person right here. So definitely attracting a new person. I feel like you know who this person is, maybe with the Sun, but I don't know that you've actually ever talked to this person, or I don't know if you've actually met this person yet. Some of you have, some of you haven't. So this is a really good love reading. And even if you don't want love, this is a very good turnaround reading as well. You have this Bluff card. This is a card that makes sense with the Sun and the Strength card. The Bluff card is Jupiter and Gemini, and it kind of represents doing something that people don't think or maybe didn't think or haven't thought that you could do. And so you really could be calling people's bluff, so to speak, by, showing your strength. And I feel a lot of you are doing that with that card. You have this Harmony card. I do feel like if you're attracting a person, that's probably something you'll notice is that they bring more peace and harmony into your life. They're not bringing chaos into your life. So that's nice. You have this Impulsiveness card. Yeah, it feels a little impulsive to me. I'm not going to lie. Like, again, 7 of Wands, the 2 shoes stood out to me, or the boot and the shoe, whatever you want to call it. Who cares? But again, it does feel a little impulsive. Like maybe there is a little impulsive action here to being with this person, or it's like maybe you're not 100%. Maybe you feel like you're not 100% ready to maybe put yourself out there. But I also feel like some of you clearly have your eye on someone who's like special or something. I don't know, right? And so, it could be one of those things where it's like you don't want to miss out on it. So again, I think some of you maybe are doing something impulsive, but like not in a bad way. You have this Charity card. This is a great card for Cancer, and it can represent abundance coming in. I do feel like the universe is bringing you a gift here, and it could be this love, but it could also be this transition or transformation that you're making if you are making a change. And I feel like it's, this is like a major change that's going on here, especially with that Ten of Swords. I really feel it, that some of you are, stepping away from something that just isn't working in your life. But it's like, I don't mean this like in a bad way. It's just, it doesn't feel that big of a deal to me. Like maybe you have a job and you don't like it, or maybe you're working on a project and you don't like it or something. It's like not that big of a deal. But I think the change is a big deal, right? That's really what I'm getting here. It's like the next thing that you do is a big deal. And I think that's what you need to realize, is that what you're leaving behind is like nothing. You have this decision card. Yeah, you have a choice to make. Again, I would just say the change is a big deal, is what I feel like saying, is that whatever the next step is here is a big deal. I think that's the best way to put this reading. There you go. Thank you for being here, Cancer. Really appreciate it, and definitely enjoy your week.